Hello, third grade. So last week in math, we were working on solving two-step word problems. We are going to keep practicing that today and this whole week. This is a really important skill for third grade, and it is one of the biggest ones that we do, and the hardest ones we do. So if you get frustrated or it doesn't seem very comfortable right now, don't give up. Just keep trying, keep practicing. So today, we're not going to learn anything new. I'm just going to point out a couple things that maybe you can do to help you solve these two-step word problems. The first thing that I always tell my students to do is if they have a pen or a pencil in their hand, when they get ready to start reading the problem, is to put it down. Because studies have shown that if you're holding your pencil when you start reading the problem, you're not really focused on what you're reading. You're starting to think about ahead to what you're going to write down. So you put down your pencil. And then this will be in our materials for this week. You're going to read the problem 3 times, okay? The first time you read it, you're just going to read it. And you're going to figure out what the problem's about, okay? So you're going to circle important information or box it in, whatever helps you solve the problem. Then, the second time you read through it, you're going to ask yourself, what am I trying to find out? What's the question asking me? What are they asking me to do? And I find it really helpful to underline that. That way it stands out in my head and I don't have any questions. So you're going to read it one time, ask yourself, what's the problem about? Circle the important information. Read it a second time and ask yourself, what am I trying to find out? And underline that. And then you're going to read it one more time. And this is where you're going to make sure, what is the important information? What do I need to have? So once you've read it through 3 times, okay, then you can start to think about how am I going to solve this problem? And there's a couple different ways you might do this. You might find it easiest to write an equation. You might find it easiest to draw a tape diagram, which is why we've practiced this. Maybe you want to draw a picture with equal groups. Maybe you want to draw a different picture. But this is where you get to choose what works best for you. So we know in our problems that we did at the end of last week and the problems from this week, they're 2-step. So I can tell you that almost all of your problems you do today are going to have more than 1 step to them. Once you figured out what steps you want to take, then you try it. You try it. Now, once you've underlined the key words, there are some words you want to look for when you're problem solving. And I'm going to put this in under our math classwork as well, so you have it. These are keywords that if you see these words in the problem, if you've underlined them or circled them, then you probably should be doing one of these. Sorry, boys and girls. One of these 4 operations, okay? So keep an eye out for all these keywords, and this will be there for you because there's just too many for me to go over now. So if you notice a keyword, try that operation. Ask yourself, does this make sense? Is this really going to solve the problem? And if it doesn't, guess what? Go back and fix it. Go back and take a look at it again. So boys and girls, we're not learning anything new, but what I want you to do is make sure you go to those practice pages that we listed, practice the skill, have your mom or dad take a look at the pages you practiced, send a picture to Mr. Rush or I. We want to see how you're doing because it's a really tough skill, but it's a really, really important one and one that you're going to see all year long. So you want to make sure you really start to understand it now. Remember, 3 steps. You're going to put your pencil down and read it the first time and ask yourself, what's the problem about? You're going to read it a second time and say, what am I trying to figure out? And you're going to underline that. And then you're going to read it a third time and you're going to ask yourself, what is the important information? And I always find it helpful to circle that. So the numbers, those key words that you see in the problem, circle those things so they stand out to you. Then you can start to solve it. So you're going to read it 3 times before you start to solve your problem. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out to Mr. Rush or I so we can help you.